Well, I know this might be a shock to everyone, but I survived the snow. I know. I know it's crazy. I'm alive. I didn't die. I'm not snowed in. I survived. I survived the snow. Oh my god, it's crazy. Yeah. Uh but actually though, it it's been a little while because of a lot of things. Mainly because of the snow, really. It was actually the snow that kind of like derailed my life a little bit. But wow, man. Wow. So, I didn't get to make a weekly update on Sunday because it was snowing and there was a lot of snow, and like some people it was so bad that they couldn't leave their house because if it snowed or if it kept snowing, they would not be able to get back in their driveway, or they couldn't get out of their driveway at all. So uh that was really unfortunate for a lot of people. And I didn't want to do anything on Sunday, as I'll get back to. So I decided, fuck that, I'm not doing anything. Or I'm at least that was what I decided at the start of the day. But yeah, a lot of this past like week or so has been heavily centered on the snow. It has not been very fun. So to recap where I left off, I'm trying to think. Well, I left off on. Did I leave off on last Wednesday? Or was it? I can't remember. Might have been Wednesday, I think, was when I did that. I can't remember. But I'll start it off on the last Sunday before this past Sunday. So I had been feeling just a lot of just stress from work, which like it's not really the work's fault. It's not like, my manager is sitting there like, dude, you're not doing a good enough job, do a better job. It wasn't that. It was just, it was fucking really tough to kind of acclimate to work. And I've really felt this way ever since Christmas. I was talking to my coworker about this yesterday. I felt this way ever since Christmas because, as I said with my Christmas in that one weekly update I made, it was fucking really tough. Really, really tough. And I thought, okay, Christmas comes around, and then after Christmas, it's at least going to slow down. And that kind of didn't feel like it happened. Like, it didn't feel like it went back to normal, It felt like it stayed crazy, like, a little bit. And it even really culminated, on that Monday and Tuesday. It was really difficult. Like, I'm talking crazy difficult. Which I think I recorded another video. I think I recorded a video on Wednesday. It's been so long. I've had so many videos I gotta upload, and I've had so much going on. But I basically talked about how just everything felt so much more stressful at work, and how like it was supposed to go back to the normal, and we were supposed to have our hours cut because it was supposed to be slow. That didn't fucking happen. It's been fucking crazy. And yeah, it was insane not being able to clean until like 5 hours into the shift and stuff, It was mind-blowing. And so I came into the rest of that week thinking, okay, well, the worst of it has subsided. The worst of it has subsided. Because usually Monday and Tuesday is the worst, and then after that, it kind of slows down a little bit. And usually, like, end of the week, not that bad. Sometimes Saturday could be a little but, like, who's coming to a grocery store on a Saturday night, bro? Like, you're telling me you could be out there at a rave, at a concert, at a friend's house. You could be, like, fucking a girl or something. And you are choosing to come to a deli at a grocery store at 8 p.m. at night. What are you doing? So, but Yeah. I just, I was like, the worst of it is done. We're done. Okay? The worst of it's done. The Monday's done. The Tuesday's done. We're okay now. I get my Wednesday. I get my day off. I get to just kind of relax. I get to work on some stuff that I want to work on. Whatever. And then I kind of stayed up late because I got really into... So basically I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it before, but I've been really into some of the Avenged Sevenfold like Zombies songs recently, because I just ended up getting into that. I just wanted to listen to the Call of the Dead Easter egg song, and I was like, dude, this song is so fucking sick, bro. I love this song. It's honestly probably one of my favorite Easter egg songs, because, dude, I love all the little zombies callbacks and, like, zombies Easter eggs, right? I love the way it tells the story about everything that happened up to that point in, like, this really cool way. I love just the way the music sounds. And I love that there's kind of, like, an extra sort of message in it. Or maybe not extra message, but, like, the energy it has. I love that energy. I have been for weeks. I've been listening to it on my workouts just because it feels so fucking good. It's like, I'm not ready to die. It feels so I just fucking slipped. But it feels so fucking good, dude. And I started getting this idea in my head. I've had, like I mentioned before, I had this idea of, like, making this, like, music video for, like, Falling to Pieces or Remember Us. And I ended up not doing that just because work exists, and now it's, like, much harder for me to go and do those things that I would like to do. So I just don't have the time. And I was one day, I was working out, and I think it was probably like Monday or maybe Tuesday or something. And then it just hit me that, like, what if I kind of twisted, like, some of the words of Not Ready to Die and just turned it into something like a different sort of message that's kind of, like, more of what I am feeling and what I'm going through and that sort of thing. And I thought about that, and I was like, that would be such an interesting idea. And it particularly hit me when there's a one line where it's like, endless possibilities controlling 935. And I was thinking about it. I was like, that I could, like, tweak the 935 into something that sounds similar, but, kind of works with my own experiences more. And then I just thought, like, endless possibilities controlling my own life. And then I was like, that's a really cool idea. That, like, fits perfectly. It, like, still kind of has that tone to it. That is such a sick idea. And so I ended up getting really immersed into that idea and just going and fucking changing all the lyrics and shit to kind of something that maps more to my own life. I was like, this is a really cool idea. I kind of want to do this. And so that caused me to stay up a little bit, as I was saying, kind of getting back to where I was. But the point of it all is that I just kind of, like, had this idea of just doing that. And I ended up turning it into, like, this song that is a lot about, like, self-improvement and, like, finally, like, having that switch turn on, in your brain, like, just having that switch turn on and, like, having this, like, inner voice is telling you that, like, dude, just fucking do it. Just stop being an idiot. Just fucking do it, And I feel like it became something I'm kind of excited to make potentially at some point. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I have no idea I have no idea if it's actually going to happen or not. But, like, a lot of the time I'm listening to the song, like, the lyrics that I made keep coming into my head. But I would like to tweak them some more and get, like, really make them feel like it cohesive, I guess. But yeah. But the point of me saying all that is I stayed up late on Wednesday. Then it comes Thursday, get up a little late, whatever. Because you know what? I'm going to work at 4. No big deal. And so there I am in the morning. I'm on my laptop. I'm looking through those lyrics again. I'm trying to think if I can come up with anything a little better. And then I get a call. And it's from work. Uh-oh. And it's the store manager because my manager was off that day. That's his day off usually. I'm like, uh-oh. What's going on? And he asked if I can come in early for an 8-hour shift. I was like, okay. And in my head, I was like, well, we know what happened. My coworker called out, and he did this intentionally. That was my thought. I was like, I know this guy, he's got a little bit of a grudge against me. I know he doesn't like me. And he always pulls some weird stuff every time we work together. And I was like, what this guy probably did, he saw that the one guy who would have been able to help me is not going to be available because it was his vacation week. And he was like, I'm going to get this guy. So he knew that was going to happen, and I was going to be fucked over. That was what I thought. I thought this guy called out to fuck me over. So I get ready for work. I'm like, kind of, I'm like, I really got to get ready for work. I didn't really expect this to happen. And I get ready for work. I go to work. And I'm surprised to see my other coworker there. Like, there's more people there than usual. I'm like, what the fuck? That's weird. Why is he here? Turns out he got called on his day off to come in as well. Because they were so swamped by all the people coming in because of the snow that they needed more help. And so my other coworker, he actually didn't call out. It was just they needed as much help as possible. And I was like, wow. Okay. And dude, I was working like crazy, dude. I am cutting grab and goes. I'm helping a bunch of customers. Trying to clean whatever I can, but I mean, admittedly, can't really clean that much, but it's just fucking crazy. It was insane. And I also, on Wednesday, I forget, I think I made a video about it, but, or I think it was in one of the videos that I've either uploaded by now or, I don't know. You'll see it eventually, but I got new glasses. And so I was wearing those new glasses that day. And dude, I was like not feeling right. I was feeling dizzy. I was feeling tired. I was feeling fucked up. And I thought maybe it's because I stayed up and like I kind of like fucked myself over a little bit in that way. But like I did not feel that great. And I had to take like a 15-minute break. My other coworkers left. It was just me and the one guy. I was like, I gotta take my 15-minute break. I didn't bring a water, so I needed a water. And I just needed to go to the bathroom, and I needed to just get my other glasses, which are these guys, and just take a minute. He was like, yeah, sure, go for it. I mean, every time he's like, dude, I gotta go to the bathroom, I'll be back. Or like, dude, I gotta go, I'm gonna go upstairs real quick and get some supplies or whatever. I'm like, go for it, dude. No problem, right? You gotta go to the bathroom. I'm not gonna say, dude, you have to piss your pants here because I can't let you leave. Like, no, go to the fucking bathroom, man. Go do it. So, I would expect the same treatment from me. But, yeah. So, I went and I did all that, and I came back, and I just did my best. Closed the deli. It was not easy. It was not an easy night. I think I'm gonna check actually. Let me see if I can find it, because I'm pretty sure my Fitbit said that I was going nuts on that day. Let's find it. So I burned 4,910 calories that day. And I got 167 zone minutes, which if you don't know what zone minutes are, that basically means minutes where your heart rate was 120 or above. So basically, I went fucking nuts that day. Like, I'm serious. Let me make sure there's nothing. I don't think there's really anything on the screen that I need to blur or anything. Also, it's gonna be flipped. So maybe in post I could flip it or something, I don't know. But as you can see, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. And it was fucking difficult. It was very difficult work. And the craziest part is the next day was even worse. And I was with my good coworker that day. But like, it was crazy. The amount of people that were freaking out about this fucking snow was insane. And I was even talking to this one guy. He's a regular. I see him pretty often. He usually comes. He gets some, like, you know, some pre-cooked stuff usually. And he came by and I was helping him. He was like, I was in Chicago the past few days. And it was cold. It wasn't really, you know, snowing or anything. And I came back and everybody's talking about this fucking snow. And I'm just like, yeah, like, the people are freaking out about it. And he was like, so, you know, I'm trying to go get stuff. He's like, I went to the grocery store. There's lines everywhere. I went to the gas station. There's lines at the gas station. I went to, and he was like, I went to the grocery store. What do you think was the one thing I couldn't find? And I was like, oh, probably like milk or eggs or bread or something. Like, you know, usually it was all the things that people panic buy. It's like, no, bananas. I couldn't find any bananas. The produce section was fucking destroyed. And it kind of lined up with what I saw. I didn't see the bananas. I didn't look at the bananas when I was going to piss. But I looked at like our produce section. They have like, you know, I guess broccoli and carrots and celery, that type of stuff. Right, a bunch of like vegetables. Empty. I've never seen that before. Like, I've never seen that shit before. And my dad was telling me he went to another supermarket, a bigger supermarket. And dude, like, even like frozen vegetables, fucking wiped. It was wiped out. Like, empty shelves everywhere, bro. It looked like fucking a grocery store during the fall of the Soviet Union. Like, what the fuck? What? It's crazy. And they were hyping up, like, people are hyping up this storm on the fucking on like the radio and like on TV and whatever. They're like, dude, my dad was telling me that there's one guy on the radio and he's saying like, this is gonna be the storm of the century. It's like, what? Like, we have had worse snowstorms in just the past, like, couple decades. Okay, we have had way worse snowstorms in this the past couple decades, and everybody's freaking out. It was insane. And so I ended up having to do a lot more work than usual. And part of it was not only did I have to do all my usual work, I had to close 4 slicers instead of 3 slicers. And that's like a difference of at least 20 minutes. And especially if customers are coming around, it's cooked, bro. So that made that Friday night, that was fucking tough. It was really, really tough. I was running like crazy to get stuff done. But I've gotten so much faster at my job now that I've managed to really just get so much better at it. And we still finished that night. We finished like 15 minutes before closing. So pretty good, all things considered. But like, it was fucking insane. And I was like, Saturday's gonna come and it's gonna be horrendous. And so this is when I came up with an idea. See, listen, if I am gonna have to go through All this fucking work. 3 8-hour shifts of insanity trying to not only stock up grab and goes, but also help customers and try to close the deli all within 8 hours. It's going to be tough. But you know what? I'm going to use it to my advantage. I'm going to turn it into content, baby. That was my plan. And so what I'm saying now, I'm giving the gist of the story now, but I'm thinking about turning it into a full-blown video on my main channel and just talking about that. But the problem is I have like 5 videos I want to make. So it's just, I'm constantly like thinking these things in my head and then never actually doing them. But I think my plan is to get the one video out the Dino Master video that I want to make out, and then work on the video about this. And I'll go into a lot more detail in that video. But I said, you know what? I'm going to turn this into content. So what I did, I got my phone, I had the voice recorder going, and I recorded on my way to work and didn't turn it off. So, because number one, I was thinking it's a good insurance policy, right? Because there's a chance, I had a feeling like my coworker was going to blow up on me or something tonight. He was going to be like, oh dude, you're being so fucking slow. What's wrong with you? Or some shit, or like, you know, why are you doing your job? And it's like, I've been here fucking 8 hours trying my ass off. So I was like, I want to have it for some protection, just in case. But also I was like, you know, listen, dude, if I'm going to suffer for slightly above minimum wage, you know what? Let's turn it into content. So that was what I did. I haven't even listened to the audio. I have no idea how it sounds. I tried to make it sound a little better. I put like 6 tissues in my pocket so that the phone would be like more towards the top of the pocket and it wouldn't be as like, it would hopefully hear more audio. I still haven't listened to it yet. I don't know how it's going to be. But needless to say, Saturday came, and to be honest, it was not as bad. And it was still tough. I finished like 2 minutes, or like 1 to 2 minutes before closing. But it was a difficult day. But the thing that really surprised me is that coworker, he was actually being kind of accommodating to me and stuff. Like, there was one point I'd cleaned off a slicer of like all the crumbs and stuff, and I was going to prepare to actually like clean it. And we had some customers, and he came over, and he actually helped me with like a decent amount of customers too, which I was surprised about as well. But he came over, and he was, you know, he grabbed the meat, and I thought he was going to throw it on that slicer. He looked at it. He was like, oh, you know, you already cleaned this off? And I was like, yeah, you know, you want to use it? You know, go for it. But yeah. And he was like, no, I'll wait for you. I was like, wow, surprising. Because I really thought he was just going to be like, whatever, let this guy fucking deal with it. But he didn't do that. And he was also, you know, telling me like, dude, you know, go use the sink. If I'm not using the sink, go for the sink. Just go for it. You know, it's not my sink. Use it. And I was so surprised. I was like, this is really weird. But it was nice. Even though, you know, I know there's kind of tension between us, right? Because I can tell that this guy does not really like me. And I feel like this guy thinks that I don't like him. And that, you know, I have some vendetta against him or something. But it was like we actually had like a little bit of camaraderie there for a little bit. And like we're both really working, trying to get this place closed. It felt kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie. I'll talk about that in more depth in the actual video. But suffice to say, I was very surprised that day. Just the fact that this motherfucker is not, you know, being a motherfucker. And he's actually kind of, you know, he's helping me. He's, you know, being accommodating to me. That was a bonus. Because I think part of it is because I told my manager, I said, like, I have no idea what I'm going to be able to do tonight. You know, I'm going to try to clean the slicers. If it's crazy, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do. The floor might not get cleaned, you know, that type of stuff. But, you know, I'm going to do whatever I can. And I don't know if maybe he said something, because he, like, my coworker was mentioning a sink, and I'm like, it's a little strange. He keeps, like, mentioning the sink a lot. And I'm thinking it's because the manager said, like, you know, hey, make sure he gets to use the sink because he's got to clean 4 slicers tonight. That type of stuff. So I'm thinking that that's a possibility that maybe the manager spoke to him. It's either that or he just kind of realized, like, if I don't help him at all, like, we're going to be fucked tonight. So I should actually, like, maybe do my job, you know? But with all that said, managed to finish. I was very happy about that. But, like, the after effects, dude, I felt so, like, horrible. And, dude, my eyes have felt horrible. I'm not going to lie. My eyes have felt horrible. And it's like I'm wearing the old glasses and they still feel horrible. And I don't know why. And I'm thinking part of it, like, I was talking with my therapist a lot about it today. Just about how stressful everything was. She was saying that there could be a lot of reasons for it, but, you know, could be not drinking enough water. Because to be honest with you, I'm not drinking a lot of water. I've definitely got to be drinking, like, way more water than I have been, for sure. So, I probably should be doing that more. That would probably be a good idea. So, well, there's a raid here, dude, and I have 2 win a raid researches. So, you already know, I'm gonna fight this Dondozo as I keep talking. But yeah, I have just been so fucked up, and so, and especially, like, my ear has been fucked up. I mentioned I had that earache before, and I just still it's been very tough. Like, I just have felt like shit. So that sucks. But oh, there's a train coming. Oh boy. But what I've been thinking is that maybe it could have something to do with the ear. And so I finally decided to find a doctor and go, you know, see a doctor about it and see how that's going to go. So the hope is that things will go well. I have it scheduled for exactly a week as I'm recording this. It'll be next Wednesday. So I'm going to go to that. And then after that, I get to go to my therapy appointment. It's going to be very, very long day. Very long day. But I think I really need it because I got to figure out what's going on, man. Like, I'm so fucked up recently. I don't know what's happening. I think, honestly, it could just be work. But, like, I just feel dizzy. My eyes feel fucked. I feel tired. My ear feels fucked. Why is it making me use a fucking Palkia, dude? Anyone explain that to me? But it's just been tough, man. It's just been so tough. And so that's why I haven't really been posting a lot recently on this channel, because it's just, I got no time. I have no time. And Sunday was really my only time. And I know I'm kind of going out of order a little bit here, but Sunday was really fucked. Because I was just so tired. I was just like, I don't want to get out of bed. My parents are in the kitchen. I don't want to get out of bed. So, there's the train. So I didn't want to get out of bed. And I was just in bed, like, the whole day. And it was very, very tiring. Like, I just felt so shit. I was just watching YouTube the whole day. Or not the whole day, but I was watching YouTube for hours. And I was just, ugh. Dude, I felt so, like, horrible. I felt like subhuman almost. Which I know sounds like, what the fuck, subhuman? But, like, legitimately, I felt unbelievably bad. I felt unbelievably bad. It was really bad. But I eventually did kind of turn it around a little bit. I got a couple things done. And one of the things I did was I started, because I've tried to do this thing a couple times where I, like, list off my wins that I have on a specific day, or, like, things I got to work on and stuff like that. Trying to, like, make myself feel a little better, you know, about the day, and not just be like, oh, I wasted all my time. It's like, no, I did this, I did that. Like, for example, one thing I did, I tried cauliflower crust pizza. It was actually very good. And then I was like, I got cauliflower crust pizza. So, let me try, I got these, like, crackers from work the other day, and they're, like, Cheez-Its, but they're, like, cauliflower. And I opened the bag, I was like, I ain't eating that. Like, dude, they smell not great. But I did buy them, but I did like the cauliflower crust pizza. Cauliflower crust pizza was pretty good. So, that was cool. And other than that, yeah. I played some piano. I just kind of, I did some of that stuff. And then fuck. My brain is, like, shutting off. What is going on, man? Yeah. But I've been trying to do, like, I have a calendar, and I've been trying to write down, like, things I did on that day. Just, like, even if it's just, like, I exercised and I did work. Okay, well, that's good. And so, like, on Monday, I was, like, scheduled a doctor appointment. I did some work, I did some exercise. That was good. Maybe it's not filled with, like, 200 things like a fucking self-help guru would fucking say. Like, you gotta help 20 women across the street. You gotta have sex with 30 women. You gotta marry 2 girls in a day. You gotta build, like, 200 pounds of muscle. That type of stuff. Like, no. I think it's stupid. I think that's really stupid. But I just think it's good to, like, be able to look back and be like, I did things on that day. So, yeah. Even if it's just, like, stuff you do every day, but it's like, hey, well, I did that thing on that day. It's nothing. Or it's not nothing, I should say. So, there was that. And, fortunately, Monday wasn't, like, too bad. I was just very, like, tired and fatigued. But it's very slow, thankfully. I said to my boss, I'm like, I'm hoping it's going to be slow today, because that was very tiring. It was fucking crazy. Which, I also, on that topic, I forget, I think it was last Monday or Tuesday, I think. When I saw my boss, I saw him, and I really wanted to say to him, I really just wanted to say thank you to him. And it's something I've been meaning to say for, like, a while, but it's like, they're busy people. I don't want to, sit there and be like, oh, and I wanted to say thank you or some shit, which, by the way, oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. We're bright again. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah. But as I was saying, I see my boss, and I really wanted to say thank you. And so I kind of thought about it. And I've wanted to do it for a while, but particularly I decided to do it recently because my cousin, he's been having a lot of problems at another supermarket where the managers have been fucking insane, dude. There's something mentally wrong with them, bro. There's something mentally wrong with them. And I just really wanted to be like, thank you for not, just being a kind manager and always, being kind to me and just being understanding and stuff. And I think he was very happy to hear that. Like, he's one of those people where he's a very, just kind of like standard guy, just always trying to get things done, that sort of thing. But he did say thank you. He said thank you to me for saying that to him. Because I was just like, I just wanted to say thank you, for being a good manager. And I'm really happy that you're my manager. Because my cousin right now, he's dealing with some people at his place, and they're fucking crazy, dude. He's like, yeah, trust me, I've heard those people are crazy. Those people at those stores are fucking crazy. But I think, I'm thankful for the managers that I have, Sometimes that's something I think we don't really think about enough, you know? Because it's like, we're so concerned with everything that's going on in our lives, we don't really think about that stuff. And we don't think about how other people have it so much worse than we do. And it's like, I'm just thankful I have them as managers, you know? But yeah. So that was the thing. The other thing I guess I could talk about, I kind of wanted to, I might make it into a separate video, maybe. I'm not sure. But I really started to get this idea of the hard path. And like, I kind of like mapped it to a lot of what was going on before. And kind of goes back, I think I made a video talking about being on autopilot or something like that. Where I was just talking about like I'm on autopilot and I just feel like, I feel like I gotta stop autopiloting and all that. And I kind of realized that some of that is not really autopilot necessarily, but me taking the easiest path. And I realized that a lot of last year was I had motivation to go on the hard path, and I could have kept playing fucking BO6 zombies, just doing that and like making like 2 videos a year or whatever. I could have just kept doing that, but I saw there was an incentive to go on the hard path, and I said, fuck it. You know what? I'm going on the hard path. And I did it. And I realized that, yeah, I should go on the hard path. And so I spent a while going on the hard path. And then what happened is I got into the groove of things at work. I got through a lot of the hard, like, early stuff. And then I just ended up going back on the easy path because I was just so tired from work. And it really hit me. I was watching this video recently from Newell of Knowledge. That guy, I love watching that guy. That guy makes good videos. But I forget what the video was, but there was a video. I think it was how to make doing hard things easier and scrolling YouTube or something like that, I think. And there's one thing he shows at the end, and it hit me. Because I had just been thinking about it before watching that video. I've been thinking about this hard path stuff before watching that video, and he showed like a mountain, right? And he showed taking the hard path, like climbing the mountain, gives you an easier path afterwards, right? Or it gives you like an easier kind of path to deal with once you're through with that, right? Whereas taking the easy path of just sliding down the mountain means that you're going to have to climb out of that afterwards. And really just made me think, I should just start taking the hard path more. And I don't know, I'm trying to remember where this came from. It might have been like a Google News thing, maybe, I don't know. But there was a thing about like Bruce Lee, I think it was, or something, and he said that like life is about challenges, and that you should always be like looking to get to or you should be trying to like challenge yourself, you know? And I thought about that a lot. And I feel like sometimes I have a hard time challenging myself to do things, to like, you know, do something beyond what I'm used to, you know? But it really kind of hit me just thinking about that. And I was like, between that and like the hard path thing I've been thinking about, I was like, I should try to take the hard path more. And I was thinking about it too. I was thinking about, like, for example, at work, right? I think that the easiest thing to do, realistically, right? If you're in a situation, let's say you see a coworker you know, right? The easiest thing to do is to just keep walking, right? The hardest thing to do is to be able to look at them and make eye contact and smile and go, hi, you know, person, whatever their name is, right? It's harder to do that. It's more effort, more time that you're spending. And, you know, there's a risk. Maybe you come off cringe. Maybe you come off like weird or something, or like stupid or whatever. There's a risk in you doing that. And it's much easier to just not do anything. And that, I think, is what makes it more important that you do that, right? Because it shows that you are willing to do that. And it's something I'd like to really try and do more. So one of the things I've really been making it my goal at the moment, one of my goals, is just at some point in the day to take the hard path, right? And it doesn't have to be like, I'm gonna fucking, instead of lifting this 1 pound weight, this 1 pound weight, I'm gonna lift 100-pound weight. Like, no. And it's not like some random like little thing where it's like, oh, you know what, instead of watching like straight porn, I'll watch gay porn. That's the hard path. Like, no. Like, that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for, like, at some point in my day to just make this decision of like doing something that I normally wouldn't do, but trying to put myself out there to do it anyway. And to be honest, I don't really know if I've done that today. But like, for example, yesterday what I did, because I was talking to my boss, I was trying to figure out, like, do we have any insurance? And he told me that it's through the union. So I'd have to go check with the union. And we have a union rep at our store that my one coworker talks about all the time. And he's always like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with like the pension and all that for when I retire. And so I was like, maybe I should go try to speak with that guy, I guess. That's what the manager was telling me to do. And he told me that he usually closes like Tuesday nights. So I was thinking maybe I should go see if he's there. But I was so focused on cleaning. And then eventually my coworker came back and he said he was talking to him. And so I was like, oh, I got to talk to him at some point. And he was like, oh, you want to go talk to him now? And I was like, I'll wait. I'll wait a little bit. Let me keep cleaning and then maybe after that. And eventually a time came and I was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I walked by where he is and I saw him there, but like I didn't know if it was him. So eventually I went up to him and I asked, like, actually what happened, there was a customer that was looking for something, so I was trying to help him. And then he was like, oh, what are you looking for? And he's trying to help the guy. And I mean, neither of us really knew, because this guy, he wanted like a 4-pack of a soda or something. It's like, I've never seen a 4-pack of that before, but maybe in this aisle, I don't know. But then after that, I was like, hey, are you that guy? And he was like, yeah. So then I ended up talking to him about the insurance thing. Found out that probably not going to have to stress out about insurance that much when I get kicked off my parents' insurance. So that's nice. But I really had like a lot of thoughts that day where I was like, or yesterday, I had a lot of thoughts where I was just like, maybe I just shouldn't, maybe I shouldn't go. Maybe I shouldn't talk to this guy. I'll just wait for another day. But I hate that mentality. So I was like, you know what? No, we're doing it. We're going. So yeah, that was what I did. I went, I talked to him, and I found out some pretty good news. So I was like, that's awesome. And yeah, so that's cool. But I've been trying to really stick to that hard path thing. I don't really think I've done anything that's necessarily like the hard path today. And I guess I didn't use Google Maps to get back from therapy. I mean, I pretty much know the way I'm going at this point. I know the area decently well now. But, yeah. Maybe I'll try to find something that's like a hard path. I don't know. I'll find something that I can say was like a harder thing to do. But, yeah. The other thing I've been trying to do is trying to like avoid using technology as much anymore. So like I decided to switch to paper journal now instead of like, just typing on my MacBook. And I also decided to try to stop using screens after like 11:30, which is like an hour before I go to bed. So I've been doing a lot of that stuff. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm really trying to reduce my reliance on technology and trying to find substitutes for that. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm feeling so tired. I'm like feeling bleh. I think I gotta go home. I'm honestly probably a little dehydrated, I think. So I think I should get some water. Just fucking glug like 3 fucking gallons of water or something. But yeah. I have a lot of ideas for like main channel videos I've been thinking about. So I think it's gonna happen soon. But I just gotta have the energy to actually sit down and start making them. But I'm gonna try to do that today. Try to work on something today, dude, because I got some time. So try to do something. But yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I'm thinking about getting pizza. I got some pizza last week after I recorded. So I thought about it. I was like, dude, I kind of want to get some pizza. I got some pizza. Dude, that pizza was real good, bro. That pizza was really good. I got like a baby pizza. And I got some like chicken cutlets on top of it. Dude, it was so good. So good. It was worth the $10, bro. It was worth it. Or was it? Was it $10? I can't remember. It was something like that. It was good though. It's very good. I'm thinking about doing it again. Dude, it was so good the other day. Dude, maybe I should. I think I'm gonna do it. It's the hard path. And that also kind of coincides with the hard path too. Because one of the things I wanted to do was call the place and order it. Because I could have ordered it online if I wanted to. I was like, I'm going to call the place and order it. And that was a good decision, I think. Because, dude, yeah. I mean, it was just... It was good. But, the only thing, though, is if I call, I got to wait, like... I'm not going to be able to get it for like 20 minutes. I kind of just want to go home. So I might just go home. But you know what else I could do? I could like get it there. And I could just drink some water. So I could like get a water bottle and drink it. I don't know. I'll pass this time. I'll save my money. Go home. Relax. Work on stuff. Yeah. It's way too cold to be out too much too. Dude, but what if I did though? What if I went? I don't know. I kind of want to. I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it. And then maybe I'll go in there a couple minutes early and I can get like a water or something. I don't know. I had to get there. So I guess the sooner I do it, the better, right? The sooner I do it, the better. So I guess I'll end this here. And hopefully I'll be able to do another weekly update next Sunday. But we'll see. I mean, maybe I just start doing them on Wednesdays. I don't know. Whatever. We'll figure it out. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting time for me going forward. But I just want to focus on making more stuff. and just trying to enjoy my time more than I am. So, but yeah, I am gonna end this thing here. I'm gonna go order pizza. It's gonna be good. Yeah. All right. I guess that's it.